Why so serious, Jason?
Why am I so serious at the end of the day? But also, if I did get $1 million, I would burn all of it.
Would you?
No, I would spend all of it very quickly.
Do you think?
Yeah,
what would be the first thing you'd buy?
The first thing I'd buy?
I'll tell you what I'd buy. Sertani to coach a PUBG Mobile team, because he would get me another $1 million the next year and the year after and the year after that.
Okay. Did you want to know what I wanted to buy? Or you just
Not really. I kind of asked you the question so that I could answer the question.
That sounds like you.
What do you think of Tiamba?
I think that they're doing the best. I think you should stop ragging on them.
That's fair. What do you think of Tony K, though?
I think he's doing the best. 100%.
The guy's out of this world right now.
Just looking at his stats, though, alone, it is unbelievable. I mean, 22 knocks. His grenade limbs are lacking slightly. You know, he's one behind first. That's not okay.
Yeah,
that needs to change.
That needs
Straight
to
away.
step up there. I mean, the damage numbers, I don't think the desk talked about it too much, but the damage numbers alone
6K.
were insane. Like almost double second place.
Yeah, he's ridiculously good.
Yeah.
A pickup for the ages on Vampire. And to be honest with you, I think a lot of times when you see this kind of thing come through, you get a pickup like this and they instantly get transferred to another team a lot of times. But I think that if I was Tony K, I'm here with Vampires. Genuinely, it is such a good squad to be on right now for him. The support from the other players in the team is really good. And like I said before, it's like a weight's been lifted for Stone, because before he was really playing like the main fragger role for the team. And I think he has been playing way, way better as a backstop for them. Ravenclaw still on the off angle, playing as a scout, really, really good. And Schweppes, again, just another support player for the team. I say just, I really don't mean just at the end of the day. And now Tony K can really be that initiator for the squad, the guy you put on the off angle when it's most important, and he really needs to hit those shots. It is a great foundation, and I feel bad for Newsy, because I really don't know when they're going to sub him in. It's not likely to happen.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, right? But still, you know, even if you're on the bench, you're still, I'm assuming, seeing a portion of the success.
Yeah, I would be cheering. Like, yeah, I don't even care right now. They win more money.
Money!
Pretty much.
I mean, you could also contribute, we talked a little bit about this before, right? You can contribute from that bench position in sort of a pseudo-analyst role, and if you're providing value to the team, they are happy to have you there. The question is, where do you want to go as a player, right? Do you want to be a little bit of a bench, a supporting player?
You want to be a little bit of a bench?
Just a little bench, 4 legs and a flat surface to sit on. Can provide a lot of support to the rest of the team.
Yeah, if you sit on it.
But do you want to be the support to a phenomenal world-class, top-tier team, or do you want to maybe take a step back and play at a level that maybe is a little bit below where you're sat right now?
Yeah, okay. Fair play.
But you do get to play, is the point.
Yeah, I think right now I'd take the money. Yeah, I think I would stick with Vampire Esports, because he is seeing play here and there. And I think there is a lot of times where one of your players is a little bit ill. Maybe they're not feeling their best on the day.
It's good for Vampire, for sure.
Yeah, because Vampires can just slot in Newsy, and he's still a really good player. And we saw him play too. And he actually subbed in, did fairly well. That was decent. So I think for Vampires, having a wealth of extra players to pick from who are also really good at the game is really useful. Because a lot of times when you get stuck in that situation, your 4-man squad, someone's not feeling their greatest, you just have to continue playing with them. And it's not always going to look good. But what is always going to look good, especially on you guys at home, is the 2023 PMWI Special Crate. Pick that up from July 15th through to August 15th in-game. Go ahead and grab some now.
Do it. I'm watching. Yeah, you. Come on. Go and get it. Right now. We'll wait.
Yeah, I see you. I know that you're still thinking about it.
Why haven't you got it yet? Come on. What are you doing?
Turn off the stream for a second.
Oh, my God.
We're on stage 1.
We're all waiting for you.
Pick up that crate. and then come back over. And we'll all have a merry time. So I guarantee you, something good's going to be in there. In the meantime, though, Circle heads over towards that western side, favors Vampire Esports. Why wouldn't it, at the end of the day? Alpha 7 also did make a move down towards the top side of Everest. Gladiators certainly have brought up their stats overall. 3.75 eliminations is great. They also didn't have to drop alongside with Tiamba. Opted not to pick up that similar start that they had in Erangel, which was pretty horrific as Gladiators were able to take them down pretty niftily. And I think Gladiators were happy for that. Having that extra 4 eliminations in the bag at the start of the game allowed them to get a really good amount of points. They're now in 5th with 60 points, just behind Box Gaming in 4th. So a really good jump up.
We're kind of playing 2 tournaments right now. We're playing Vampire and then the race for 2nd place. And actually, the 2nd place position is really interesting. It's very closely fought here between 4 teams, 5 if you want to go a little bit further down, and maybe you throw Fireflux in there. But I feel like Alter Ego is probably a much more likely candidate for a 2nd spot than Fireflux, given current performances.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. This is probably what you could be aiming for, is to try and beat out Alpha 7. And I think Alpha 7 is deservedly right now in 2nd place. Yeah. They have been playing a strong game. But honestly, to catch up with the counts of Thailand, it's going to be quite difficult, to be honest. And I think that with this particular circle, it's lilting towards Vampires, which feels scary.
Basically means they win it, right?
Basically, yeah.
Are they in the circle? Okay, they win. Are they outside of the circle? Yeah, probably still win.
They have that factor. I'm in the circle, therefore, most likely, I will be taking home all the money of this tournament factor.
I'm here, therefore I win.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, this is their 2nd chicken dinner this season. We're speaking of them as if they are indomitable completely.
Yeah.
But they have been beaten before. We've seen it, actually, quite a few times.
Yeah, in PMGC, before they decided, actually, guys, we're good. We're actually good at this game.
Before they decided, actually, guys, we'll pick up Tony K.
Yeah. Well, the last day of PMGC, it was an absolute slobber knocker. Picked up a load of chicken dinners on that day, able to get up to a pretty reasonable result. I think it was 6th or 8th place. I'm pretty sure it was 6th, though. And again, Vampires, although they were beaten, certainly felt like a switch was turned on at that point, and they have just gone on to do extremely well this year. And
6th in PMGC.
Yeah, 6th. And some really good results. But we are harping on about Vampires so much because they are so good. You know what really interests me, though? Is our PEL resident, 628, 66 points. Really well done here in 3rd place. Feels like a team that's got under the radar a little bit today, but they're certainly still putting up points, especially benefiting from the amount of eliminations they were able to pick up yesterday.
Yang Won, a standout player on the roster for 628. He was so... I mean, we go back to that Miramar a couple times for this player because it was such an important off angle in that engagement with Alpha 7 that they did end up losing, but Yang Won was still standout in that, and that is, I think, demonstrative of his position within the team and his prowess in general. Hasn't had the best day today, as you say, but still very much possible for them to pick things up because this is only match 3 of the day.
Yeah, and I think that these points are a bit skewed because of the amount of points that Vampire has stolen.
True.
So far. So I still think that 628, 66 points, 3rd place, great news for them. Box Gaming also losing a player right off the get-go will just extend their lead further. Also allows Gladiators to potentially ladder up a little bit here. Alter Ego, although have dropped down, have not dropped off as of yet. They're still putting up points here and there to hold on. Although, compared to their yesterday start, it has been quite lackluster. Stalwart, on the other hand, what are they doing?
It's not ideal.
It's not, and
I'll put it that way.
I think we can comment on this the way we currently are.
Yeah.
Which is with a little bit of fun and poking, because this is not Stalwart at all. It's either the competitiveness of this lobby is so incredibly high, or Stalwart has really had a bad tournament so far. There is only two answers.
I think little column A, little column B.
Little column B.
I mean, it's a little bit of both for me. Obviously, we've talked a lot over the course of the last year and a half or so about how much these teams are starting to step up in terms of their rotational awareness, in terms of their positional control, in terms of their gun skill as well. I mean, it's incredible to see that development come through. And of course, that's going to be shown here at the highest level of competition, at the PMWI, where these teams are the best in the world right now.
Yeah.
But then you look at what Stalwart have been able to do in the past from these players specifically, their trajectory as well, where they have also seen that improvement, but it just isn't on display here.
Yeah, and I think there's a really interesting thing to talk about in that sense is that we heard from Senator at the start of the day saying that he'd picked up 2 additional strong fraggers for the team. Back when Scry and Pika were playing as mainstays, I think although, yeah, they weren't performing to a point where they were blasting out their minds in tournaments within their region, they still did very well on an international stage. And I think the difference is that you have these players that are more orientated towards eliminations, but maybe don't have that support role that probably Action and Top desperately need from Pika, from Scry. Scry has taken some excellent off angles in the past. Pika's done very good as just a survivalist to get them towards that end game and pick up some placement points. And I think that when you come to these international tournaments, you do have to play on the defensive sometimes. And Vampire certainly have had to play to that tune as well. Why they've got Ravenclaw, it's why they've got Stoned on the team, right?
Just needs a little bit more from Stalwart. That is the bottom line. 4 of our talent team predicted this team to win the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Right now. And this is just not the same team. They are, as you say, a completely different roster seemingly in this tournament.
He's teasing him.
He doesn't have the team shot right now. Waiting for team. Yeah, you can see the 2 players from Falcons cresting that summit there to try and get in position. If the shots landed, to just roll straight on down, but didn't manage to land too much and they divert instead. Falcons looking to back off Alter Ego, but Alter Ego ahead on this rotation. Just to the north side of Pachinki. Falcons trying to skirt away as well. Through the compounds, into the rolling headshot fields. These hills provide a little bit of cover, sure, but you peek them and you're going to make like Mafioso against Tony K.
Rosemary tries to take some shots backwards with the Scar-L. Has to send away though. The thing with these fielded areas is that a lot of times, yes, they do give you some good little bits of cover here and there, but you really have to be on the swivel. A lot of times have your team split up to watch several different angles. Right now, Octa takes a couple of shots his way as they whiz past him like a couple of angry bees. Falcons, though, swirling in the distance. Infinity IQ, all 4 players had nades out. That is not something you want to see come up against.
They're all over this one. But Alter Ego with 2, actually holding off fairly effectively, playing split. Rosemary crests the ridge with the Vector, swaps to the Scar, and they don't seem to have paid attention to it. Tries to go a little bit further forwards, but gets backed off, and Octa falls second. Potato there, looking to try and get some answer, some revenge. Will be able to find one. Now needs to turn the corner and get another as well. Bensu with an aid in hand has a teammate forwards to take care of Potato. Just Fnatic left standing now for Alter Ego. The flush confirmed, and Bensu now up to the fight with Fnatic. Nade in hand, has to duck back, and nade over the top is so close to going down. But with 2 players alive, res is available. Alter Ego are flagging.
It's just a bit of over-aggression there coming through. Wow, Fnatic finds Bensu on the top side. That's really big. Might be sending another nade, goes a little bit too far. Has the UMP, but versus 3 to do the work all over again. That is not going to be easy.
Fnatic, 1 more nade, but the UMP as well. Axa from Falcons have been pushing in behind this engagement. Fnatic goes down to the DBS of Ferrari, who was able to 1v4 in the previous matches that we saw. Now wants to keep his team alive, and Infinity IQ get everyone back to their feet. They have a path into this next circle, but it's treacherous open ground, and Falcons are right here as well.
Yeah, I think you saw it from Rosemary. I mean, we've all been there where you see a squad all lined up. You take the initial, you find maybe one knock, and you're like, I could go for the 4-piece. It will look amazing. You don't find it, you go for the repeat, and you get knocked down. I think Rosemary could have waited for the rest of the team. Kaldailan finds one. Huga's down, and just Ferrari remaining now.
Needs to repeat performance here. Bensu flushed away as well. They tuck in, look for the res. The nade is there. Poigo rotating in on bended knee, and the shotgun finds the flush. Ferrari with the DBS, not going to get it done this time. And Ragnar seals the deal here for Infinity IQ. They take the tumble.
Falcons sail on past Forest, who is not hitting the shots like in the past. We'll pull out the nade, though, to defend on this ridge side. Pretty strong position for D plus Kia. He is right on the edge of the circle, though. Tony K, once again. I mean, there's not much to say about that. Honestly, he is just that good. Still popping off from halfway across the map. They are destroying the two teams fighting off in the distance. And there's another one.
Oh, my goodness. That is unbelievable. Vampire, a lot of control exerted. Box, lose another. 628 try to move on in. Gladiators on the north side, in the meantime, having a tough time against Alpha 7 as well. The majority of their roster getting cut down to size. 2 players left for the Gladiators as Box are left with 1. 628 trying to swell around this. The position for Vampire is just phenomenal. To overlook this entire fight, to control the fields in front of them.
Yeah, it's a bit silly. I mean, the position they're currently holding is really strong. It has such great sight lines out and around this fielded area. You can see Kitsune already been torn apart by Tony K. Meku, most likely to fall next. He's just a laser beam.
What can you do? What can you do? Nade over the top from Reject Tokyo to take down Kitsune fully. Meku hiding amongst the hay bales, and I think that was a Molotov I just caught. Over the top from Reject. To just try and get rid of that thorn in their side.
Wow.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Look, all I'll say is I called it stage 2.
You know who else is in circle?
Yeah.
Fireflux.
Fireflux are in the circle. They were the ones to defeat the Vampires. You are right. Maybe they're their one weakness.
Fire. Doesn't take down Vampires? Is that a big thing? Not entirely sure. Nades. Doing a lot of work in this engagement here. DRS with the sight lines up the top rope. Rules. Might want to reposition, though, because Giante's left alone right now, because Killer is down. Top. Last in action for Stalwart. Wants to try and keep him in this, but the DBS is intimidating. Barking him back up the stairs. And looking for this res as well. Almost looking to confirm that commit. Molotov there will stop any thought of going down and getting this engagement. The only way you go down is hopping out these windows blank, getting over the balcony. And top taken low once more. And the re-knock comes through. What more have you got? A nade out. And was it cooked right? Not entirely sure. Should go down the stairs and maybe prove to be troublesome, but no. He'll stay out of the way. DRS. Bobbling the nade through. It's on the other side of the sofa, so he's staying alive for now, but put out of his misery finally. Stalwart once more dispatched.
This kills the max man. GK look towards Fireflux, who have a compound inside the circle. Tower defense is their forte. Nades in hand, looking to get them through this building. It's an awkward building to thread the nades through, though. In the meantime, Tiamba tries to rock up Fireflux quickly. Sends some shots over there. 628 also takes down Revo as he pushes in. There's a lot of shots all over the place, and it's just because we're in flat open land with a couple of compounds here and there, and if you are to make it to the end of this game, you have to get in early. Fireflux have taken a crazy push, though.
Ragnar lights them up. Ketch now moving in for a 1 versus 2. Goes down, goes low, and Fireflux, they had the compound, they had the position, but the brunt was too much to bear for them. 3 teams move in, and Fireflux the first to fall.
What a horribly unnecessary push from Fireflux. You just hope the circle goes your way at that point.
Mafioso.
Some nades in.
Melted on the hillside. Xing cut down as well. Just Senatexa remains for Alpha 7 on the north side. D plus Kia. 3 players on that northeast. Twisted Minds close to them. Can they stay out of dodge for long enough to have a chance in this match?
GK right next to DRS. The first time in a while, like I said, DRS are inside the circle. Reject Tokyo down towards the southwest. D plus Kia explodes Saden's vehicle. Pretty sure that was assisted by some of DRS's shots.
Vampire shift.
Are you looking for the vampire shift?
I'm not looking for it, I'm expecting it. D plus Kia, yeah, they can't stay safe out there. Keeps Vampire in. I wouldn't say this is a hard Vampire shift, but they were pretty much going to be in the circle no matter what.
I think either way, this allows Vampire to get rid of a lot of the external threats in the lobby, like Reject Tokyo, Alpha 7, D plus Kia, Twisted Minds. And then all you really have to worry about is this team. Like, look at the 1v1s they give him. Like, that is breaching compounds 101, is that you go together. 2 by 2.
Yeah, at least.
At least.
Minimum.
At minimum. Like
Maybe they didn't realize he was in that corner and they were looking to breach the next door.
Either way, it was sloppy. I can understand why you try and want to delay a little bit so you don't both get insta-popped by the initial shotgun blast, but if you assume that in the first place, go for a stun grenade.
Let's not get hung up on that for too long. Though.
7 eliminations, adding to the massive tally that Vampire currently have accrued, and they start to sweep across. They're moving out right now. Reject Tokyo out in the sticks.
It's 2 in a day, right? The record for chicken dinners that needs to be broken, worth 25 grand. They are looking to do that here and now. Yeah, it is, in fact, 2 chicken dinners in one day. So they would need 3 today. In the first 3 matches, to get 2 of them would be a very, very good start for that. They would draw even with that mark. We'll see if they're able to close it out here, because, of course, they do still need to convert.
Yeah, record breakers, name takers. I'll see what the Vampires can do. I think he's got a Lynx. I think he does have the Lynx, actually.
He's managed to pull that one out.
Which is a real nasty weapon. The claws from that bad boy is going to be slicing through you.
Meow.
No.
What do you mean?
Although my cat certainly does give me something to think about. With his claws?
You do. He's got a very big cat.
Yeah. It doesn't make me think in a philosophical way. You know, it's not. He's not the next Aristotle.
I wasn't expecting your cat to be Aristotle.
He's got big claws, that's all.
Oh, big claws, very sharp.
Yeah, very sharp.
Rip, rip.
Vampires still on this western side, though. Reject have done a pretty good job to get far into this game, obviously taking advantage of the chopsticks itself. And Senatexa is still going as well. And I think for Alpha 7, maintaining this second place spot, I think when you get down to this position where you're like, it's going to be very difficult for me to get through this game, I'm just going to have to go for a survival play. Yeah. You know, already in towards that top 6, the top 4 finish would be beautiful. And he's completely out the way. It's more likely that Gike, Tiamba, as well as DRS are going to explode in action, as opposed to Senatexa getting involved in any of this.
The next minute or 2 will be decided in 10 seconds time, because blank, the circle shift here is probably the most important for this final phase. Does it go towards the setup with Tianba, with Gike, with DRS, or does it go towards Vampire? There's your answer. Over to those east compounds. Vampire are going to have to move.
Yeah, so now we need to look at this sweep come through from Vampire. And it gets a little harder the further they get down this way. Obviously, first they have to face against Tiamba, then Gike, and then DRS. But I think as soon as you take down Gike, you're kind of fine.
Here's the thing, though. Do they need to go for the sweep? Can they not just break out, clear Senatexa, and play on the open field and allow these teams to fight off against one another?
I mean, if they want to be aggressive, get as many elimination points as possible, yeah, go for the sweep.
They don't really need points.
They don't really need points at this point in time. You're 100% correct. They could quite easily head north side, and it's something they're more than likely a little bit more comfortable with which is just playing out in open area, taking refrags, instantly popping heads as they appear in the windows. And with them being directly on the edge of the circle as well, could work out very nicely. GK, though, do take down Ravenclaw. Nasty little spray through the smoke.
Might be pretty important to get Ravenclaw back up, but no other team has 4 players alive either. Reiji does go down. That will allow a little bit of maneuverability to go for the res. I thought he'd gone down already, but no. Ravenclaw was actually flushed away in the meantime. And Schwepp's taken low. However, playing on with 3, 11 eliminations for Vampire. 12, sorry, eliminations for Vampire. What was I thinking?
I mean, you know, Tony K, the fact that he's able to spot Senator Texter out in the field like that, he's even thinking about that in this situation. He's got some very good game awareness, this lad. Mechanically wise, Tony K might be one of the best players we have seen since Ryzen, when he was good.
Oh dear. Well, Vampire, with Tony K, the powerhouse that he is, trying to move through with the rest of the roster. Playing as 3, though. They have been taken down a little bit lower without Ravenclaw. Shift away from this compound. The circle goes a little bit further out. Will cut DRS out of the fold here a little bit blank. So can Vampire control this open ground around them? Or are they going to have to just sweep through like you were talking about earlier?
Exactly. Now, Vampires do get the chicken dinner, as you were saying earlier, John. If they can grab that, they're a little bit closer to getting the highest total chicken dinners at the end of this tournament.
True.
To which would break that record. But if someone can get more chicken dinners by them at the end of this tournament, they'll break that record on top of them. So they still have a while. Get 2 teams at a total of 3 chicken dinners in one day. It will be still that final day to close it out.
Vampire break out into the fields.
This is what you said they would do. And you know what? I agree. This is probably the better play for them, just in terms of what the players like to go for.
They can control now. They can create that firing line. Just give Tony K a shooting gallery. He'll do the rest. And this is what he's got. Oh, look at this.
Oh,
What do you do? What do you do? They've won. They've won already. We should stop talking.
Is this just Tony K's day out at the range?
They're just... He's bringing his nephews to the range.
Oh, this is amazing.
Oh,
look, to see it, Rules moves up, though, through the window. That's how you really want to clear out this building. And I think for the Vampires, they're going to get a little bit closer.
Oh, he's still in this corner. And he's still got more in the back pocket. Fireflux fell victim to it. And there's more to go. DRS try and get through 1 by 1. And it goes the same way as Fireflux. Badly.
Honestly, Ragnar's probably wondering why this is still working at this point in time. Tony K tries to get Tiamba out this building. Giante on the outside. Nade blows up just inside the window. Very unlikely that he'd be getting Rules up at this point in time. As soon as he gets that red off, he'll die. And that is a gorgeous Molotov.
I love that.
Burns them out the lobby.
Geometry for days. Knew the spread was going to be good. They move through. Gike trying to move through to Tian Yu. The Molotov is there. He's burning, but he's still shooting. He's shooting time after time, and Gike fall. Vampire with 14 eliminations. They're looking for number 15, but it will be denied them, but not the chicken dinner. This is a team to fear. Nobody standing in their